The very first time our hands touched, I knew my life would never feel the same again. It was late afternoon, sunlight spilling across the porch steps, when I handed him the keys. His fingers brushed mine, warm, steady, lingering for only a moment, but long enough to make my chest tighten. I smiled politely, pretending it meant nothing, but deep inside, something sharp and dangerous stirred. He was our new tenant. Ethan. Mark, my husband, had insisted we rent out the upstairs unit to help with expenses. Practical, efficient, steady, that was Mark. For 12 years he had been the provider, the planner, the man I could rely on. Our marriage was solid, predictable, safe. But safe had started to feel like suffocating silence. Then Ethan walked into our lives, carrying his suitcase and that reckless smile. He was 10 years younger than me, with an energy that filled the space around him. He looked at me differently than Mark did. My husband saw me as his partner, his wife. Ethan's eyes lingered just a little too long, curious, admiring, making me feel like a woman again. That first week, I found excuses to be near him. Watering the roses longer than usual, stepping out to check the mail twice a day, lingering on the porch when he came home from work. I told myself it was harmless. But each time his smile met mine, each time his laugh reached me, the spark inside grew hotter. One evening, I was in the garden trimming roses when his shadow fell across me. "You take better care of those roses than most people take care of themselves," he teased, leaning casually on the porch railing above. I laughed softly. "They've been with me longer than most friendships. They deserve the effort." He hopped down the steps, reaching for the shears in my hand. "Here, show me how to do it." "Careful," I warned, handing them over. "They'll prick you if you're careless." Sure enough, within minutes, he nicked his finger on a thorn and held it up with a mock wince. "Guess I need more practice." I couldn't stop laughing, the sound surprising even me. It had been so long since laughter bubbled out of me that freely. Our eyes met, and for a heartbeat, the world grew still. Then he grinned, and I turned away quickly, hiding the warmth rising to my cheeks. After that, our paths seemed to cross constantly. He'd offer to carry in groceries, help fix a creaky door, or linger on the porch steps with 2 cups of coffee. Our conversations flowed too easily, about books, about music, about places he dreamed of visiting. Listening to him was like slipping back into youth, into a world of possibility I had long ago buried under bills and responsibilities. But it wasn't just the conversations. It was the way his gaze dropped to my lips sometimes, the way his hand brushed mine a little too long, the way silence between us felt charged with something dangerous. One rainy evening, it happened again. I was juggling grocery bags in the driveway, drenched from the storm, when Ethan appeared. He grabbed half the bags from my arms, rushing me inside. His shirt clung to him, damp, rain dripping down his hair. "You'd catch pneumonia out there," he said, setting the bags on the counter. I managed a shaky smile. "Thank you. You didn't have to." "I wanted to," he replied softly, his eyes on mine. For one breathless moment, neither of us moved. The sound of rain filled the silence. My heart thudded painfully in my chest. Then he cleared his throat, stepped back, and left. That night, lying beside Mark, listening to his even breathing, I couldn't stop replaying it. The look in Ethan's eyes. The way I almost wanted him to stay. Guilt knotted in my stomach, but underneath it was something else. Longing. It built slowly, like a storm on the horizon. Each day, the air between us grew heavier, our exchanges shorter but more loaded. Sometimes I caught him watching me when he thought I wasn't looking. Sometimes our hands touched and neither of us pulled away right away. The temptation was undeniable. Then came the night I knew everything would change. Mark was out of town for work, away for 3 nights. I told myself I'd spend the time watching movies, catching up on chores. But when the storm rolled in that evening, rattling the windows and shaking the house, I couldn't shake the hollow feeling inside. I lit candles, curled up with a blanket, and tried to lose myself in an old film. Then came the knock. Ethan stood at the door, rain-soaked, flashlight in hand. "Power's out upstairs," he said. "Mind if I wait it out here?" I hesitated, every rational thought screaming at me to say no. But I stepped aside. We sat on the couch, the storm howling outside, the candles casting flickering shadows. At first, we made small talk. But the silences grew longer, the air thicker. Finally, he looked at me, his voice low. "Can I be honest with you?" I swallowed. "About what?" "About us." His eyes searched mine. "I can't pretend I don't feel something. Every time I'm near you, it's like I forget how to breathe." My heart clenched. "Ethan." He leaned closer, his hand brushing mine. "Tell me you don't feel it too, and I'll stop." But I couldn't. My silence was answer enough. He kissed me slowly, carefully, as though afraid I might shatter. His lips were soft, tentative at first, then deeper, hungrier, like a fire we both had been denying for too long. My body betrayed my mind, leaning into him, answering him with a passion I hadn't felt in years. When we pulled apart, my chest rose and fell in sharp breaths. "I can't," I whispered, tears threatening. "I'm married." "I know," he said, pain flashing in his eyes. "And I don't want to hurt you. But I can't stay away from you either." I turned away, clutching the blanket to my chest. The storm outside seemed to echo the storm inside me. I knew I should push him out the door, shut this down before it consumed me. But I couldn't. We didn't cross further lines that night, though the temptation burned in every look, every touch. By morning, he was gone, leaving only silence and the memory of a kiss I would never forget. When Mark came home, everything looked the same. Dinner at the table, polite conversations, the rhythm of married life. But inside, nothing was the same. I carried a secret now, one that burned in my chest every time Ethan's footsteps echoed on the stairs above us. We never spoke of that night again. Outwardly, we returned to polite distance, the safe facade of landlord and tenant. But beneath it, every glance, every pause, every brush of hands carried the memory of what we had done, and what we almost did. I love my husband. I do. But Ethan awakened something inside me I thought was gone forever. He reminded me of the woman I used to be, the one who laughed freely, who dreamed, who burned with passion. And though I chose my marriage, though I buried that kiss deep inside my heart, I know I'll never stop remembering. Sometimes, late at night, I let myself think about it. The storm, the candlelight, the fire in his kiss. I let myself ache for what might have been, before I remind myself of the life I've built, the vows I've made. But temptation doesn't disappear. It lingers in the quiet spaces, sharp and soft, like an ember waiting for breath. And though I walked away, though I chose duty over desire, a part of me will always belong to that secret moment. Because I am a wife. I am a landlord. But for one night, for one kiss, I was his lover too. And that truth will never leave me.